let's get to some of the news of the day here. Cam is done for the year. He was put on IR about 40 minutes before we started talking. And Glazer's pointing out the team can save $19 million by cutting or trading him on just one last year on his contract. Do you think he's played his last game for the Carolina Panthers, Pat?
I do believe so. I mean, Elizabeth Frank is a tough lady to deal with to begin with, and I think whenever the Carolina Panther offense got a spark when Kyle Allen got in there, it was almost like the writing was on the wall there. This is Christian McCaffrey's team now. It's no longer Cam Newton's, and I think Cam Newton was an incredible quarterback for the Carolina Panthers. A lot of great things came to the Carolina Panthers organization with Cam Newton under the helm. But for me, he's a completely different player now. He doesn't seem like he loves it as much. I got a chance to watch him play against our team on a Monday Night Football down in Carolina in the middle of a rainstorm. And he was loving football. He was loving his position. He was basically the guy that stands in front of an orchestra and waves the two sticks. I don't understand. I guess it's a pretty important position. What's that called? The guy that what's his name? He was a maestro. There it is.
Yeah, he's a maestro. Out there. Okay, very good.
He was the maestro. By the way, that's a real position I've learned for telling this story. I thought they just stood up there and clapped their hands on beat, but he was like the maestro of the entire city, of the entire organization. They're playing the Superman theme song. He was diving over people. He was celebrating touchdowns for like 2 minutes long while extra points were being kicked. He was taking the ball to the crowd. I mean, it was a show. It was a spectacle. And then something happened, and I do believe it all tracks back to whenever Von Miller stripped that ball from him. It stripped his happiness. He seems like he's a completely different player. He doesn't seem like he loves the game as much. And now the offense at the beginning of the year with him at the helm, it seemed like a dull one. Kyle Allen comes in, ignites something, lights a spark in that offense. They get going. Christian McCaffrey gets an MVP conversation. So now, not only business-wise does it help them to release Cam Newton, $19 million, I think for Cam Newton it'll be good for him too. He has to go somewhere. He's a super competitive guy who has to reprove himself, not just on the field when he's playing, but also in meeting rooms, in the weight room. I think a new place could be very good for Cam Newton. I thought they were going to trade him. They did not. But I don't think we've seen the end of Cam Newton's football career, but I do believe it's the last time we've ever seen him with a Panther uniform on.
So it seems that he's going to be available in March, Pat. So the question is, if nothing changes between now and March in Chicago, would you say goodbye to Trubisky and bring in Cam Newton? Yay or nay? Would you do that?
Yeah, Rich. I mean, we've all seen, yes. I mean, the Bears fans, too, they got to ride or die with their people. They were behind Mitchell Trubisky for a while. Then they got off the Mitchell Trubisky bandwagon. Now it's kind of like everybody's against Nagy because he's not drawing up the proper plays. I mean, last year Mitchell Trubisky was the number 3 overall QBR quarterback. This year he's next to dead last, and he never gets out of the pocket when last year he had a lot of success. So a lot of people think, wait, is Nagy tanking for Trubisky? Is he making him look bad and not putting him in good positions? Nobody really knows. But it's a very different quarterback from last year, Mitchell Trubisky, and with that defense, whenever they're playing good, they are dominant. You get a quarterback that can run the ball and make some plays like Cam Newton. If he's the Cam Newton of old, it seems like a match made in heaven, especially for the fans that scream, Bear, Don. They would love Cam Newton up there.
So have you heard of that before? I mean, I just want to make sure you're just where a coach doesn't like the quarterback anymore and he feels that he's, let's just say he's a reigning coach of the year and he's got some sort of status that he would start exposing his own quarterback to get rid of him? Would that actually happen?
No, I've never heard that in my entire life. These are just things that are said on the internet, Rich, and the internet is never wrong.
And by the way, before I move on to another topic, I should just make sure that everyone understands. Elizabeth Frank is not, say, the name of the capologist in Carolina. You just used the full name of what you think is Liz Frank, although Liz Frank is not a woman, but rather the last name of the male doctor who discovered the part of the foot where this injury takes place and thus was named after him, right? You're aware of that, right, Pat?
Yeah, but when his family came to America, it was actually Elizabeth Frank, his last name. They shortened it down to Liz Frank. So it depends on how deep you really go into the investigations here, Rich.
Yes.
Nevertheless, Elizabeth Frank is a terrible person in the foot.
For more of The Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV for free on BR Live or download the Rich Eisen Show app.